Hello, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our bets, your bets, it's going to be another profitable day for you. College football week 9 Saturday games. So an earlier episode this week, we gave you Tuesday through Friday. Now we're going to get into the meat of the schedule on Saturday. There are a lot of games. I don't know if we're in as many, and we still might add a few as we're recording this episode earlier this week, but there's not as many clear-cut games, I think, as there has been the last few weeks, but that's okay. It's to be expected. As we get to the meat of the schedule in week 9, it becomes tougher and tougher. No question about it. All right, Washington, Indiana, game 1. Noon Eastern window. We'll start off with this one here. Indiana undefeated. Everybody was thinking Nebraska last week. You were thinking wrong. 42-7 win or something crazy like that. Washington has played well at home. They have figured out ways to lose on the road. You do not need to help that Indiana offense. I promise you, figure out a way to win. Line's been 5.5. It's been bumped to 6.5 for the week here. But we love us some Indiana. We didn't grab it till 6.5. Unfortunately, we didn't catch it at the open at 5.5. But we did play Indiana minus 1.5 first quarter, minus 3.5 first half, and minus 6.5 for the game. Next game up, Notre Dame, Navy. Oh my God, I wish I could play Navy here. If you want to play Navy, I will make a suggestion. Play them plus the points in the first quarter. Notre Dame always starts off slow. Navy has been fantastic offensive side of the field. I don't know if they can slow down Notre Dame enough. That's my worry here on this game. That's why we stayed away. I just, everything, as we handicap the game, the handicap says this thing is 14, 13, 14.5. So there's not a lot of value there. The gut inside of me says play Navy because I want Navy to beat them, right? Who doesn't want Navy to win? I guess maybe some Notre Dame fans. I mean, Notre Dame wins, that's fine, right? But Navy's kind of the undersung story, kind of like Army so far this year. They've been awesome for military academies. We always want them to win. Like I said, gut is overriding the handicap here. No play for us in this one. Like I said, if we had any play, it would be Navy plus the points in the first quarter. Next game up, Nebraska, Ohio State. Could Nebraska look any worse than they did last week on the road? And now you got to go to Ohio State? Okay. Defense is not as good as you guys thought it was with the black shirts. Dylan Raiola, there's no reason to panic, folks. Dylan Raiola is a hell of a quarterback. Keep giving him all your support in Nebraska or he might be gone. He might go to a big-time program next year. So figure out how to get the collective, get the money together, and keep Dylan Raiola there if you want to start a quarterback. And you need a quarterback to win these days in college football. You need it in the NFL. There's not really a scenario where you don't need a great quarterback in order to get things done. Ohio State, 25.5 point favorite, 48.5 total. So I guess how much are they expecting out of that Nebraska offense? Not a lot the way it looks. All right, no play for us in this game, but if we had to hammer here, it would be Ohio State minus the points. Next game up, Oklahoma, Ole Miss. Spencer Arnold back at quarterback for Oklahoma. They're on the road at Ole Miss. I wish I could be back on Ole Miss in this one. They are a 20-point favorite, 49 total. I do not know what to do. I mean, I know what Oklahoma is, right? Very bad offense. Doesn't matter which quarterback's been in. They're missing wide receivers. They can't seem to run the ball. But that defense is opportunistic. That scares me a little bit here with going against Ole Miss because Ole Miss will put the ball in harm's way multiple times. I don't understand what the frick Ole Miss is doing. I really don't. A lot of bad play calls against LSU, or otherwise I think they should have won that game there. There was no reason to lose that game, that's for sure. It's okay to kick a field goal lane, especially in this game against Oklahoma because Oklahoma struggles to score. No play for us in this one. If we had to lean any particular way, it would be to the Ole Miss side here. Next game up, Charlotte and Memphis. So Charlotte's had one game this year where they scored 55 points. I don't know what the hell happened there besides they got a bunch of turnovers for short fields. Memphis has been outstanding. Now, unfortunately, their defense was a little lackluster last week against North Texas. Oh, my God, how many times do you have to give up plays of 50-plus yards? But they are at home this week. Charlotte is nowhere near as talented as North Texas is. Memphis favored by 18 in this particular game. I don't know how you're not rolling with Memphis. They have been, like I said, stellar. So for us, Memphis minus 6.5 first quarter, minus 10.5 first half, minus 18.5 for the game. Next game up, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. I'm not sure if Haynes King is going to be back for Georgia Tech. I don't think it matters. If he's back, the line does adjust here. Total, right, the line's at 10, VTech favored. VTech's played pretty decently as well, 51.5 total. Typical VTech, they get us so disinterested at the start of the season, then all of a sudden winning games, right? We're not playing in this particular one, but we would lean VTech in this one as well. Tulane, North Texas, which we just talked about. So, Tulane last week absolutely laid a crapper. North Texas had one of their best offensive performances last week against Memphis. It was just because if you can stop the 50-yard play, they cannot dunk and dink down the field. You have to keep everything in front of you, and you have to tackle, which Memphis struggled to do mightily last week. Tulane normally does not struggle to tackle, folks. They are normally pretty sound in that one. The line has moved, was at 7.5, now at 8, total at 67. We should see some bigger scoring in this game, but we do like Tulane quite a bit. Bounce back week for them on the road. Tulane minus 1.5 first quarter, 4.5 first half, and 7.5 for the game. Next game up, North Carolina, Virginia. Do we have to play this game? North Carolina's been a disappointment pretty much the whole season. Virginia hasn't been much better than that. Virginia, though, at home, 4-point favorite. What is North Carolina going to do? 59 total. I don't like anything in this game. There's no lean to the side. There's no lean to an over-under. I can see both these defenses allowing the other offenses to run up and down the field. I can see both these offenses struggle to make a third down. I can see North Carolina winning this game outright or Virginia blowing them out. There's nothing here. Do yourself a favor, unless you just love something in this game, don't pull your hair out with this one here. Buffalo, Ohio, in the next one, in the noon window. Ohio, 6-point favorite at home. Buffalo was an absolute disaster last week. I don't know what the hell happened to them after the week previous, but what can we do, right? Can't control what these kids do sometimes on a weekly basis. This one here, Ohio at home, they have been better team. 44.5 total. Should be a low-scoring one, but Ohio gets the job done here. No play for us, but we would lean to the Ohio side at the -6. Next game up, we're out of the noon window. We're in the noon 12:45 Eastern time. Arkansas, Mississippi State. I would like to thank Arkansas last week for not showing up against LSU. Great job. Whatever. LSU is not that good. Arkansas. As well as you played against some of the bigger teams all season long, and then you laid that turd on the field last week. Thank you very little. Mississippi State at home, getting 6.5. Don't like a thing in this game besides maybe an over. Total's at 58. Mississippi State can either score against great teams or for some reason against crappy teams can't score. Can somebody explain that one to me? They can score against Georgia, but they can't score against, I don't know, Cornell? Or they can't beat Arizona State, who's been decent this year, but it's just sick. Arkansas, who knows what you're getting in this one. We'd probably lean to the over here, but no play for us in this one. Now we get to the 1 o'clock window, 1 o'clock Eastern. Georgia State, Appalachian State, App State at home, giving 7, folks. App State has been garbage all season long, and they're going to give 7. No play for us in this one with Georgia State, but we would take you got to take the points here with Georgia State. App State hasn't been able to cover anything. Next game up, also 1 o'clock, we've got UTSA and Tulsa. Tulsa at home, getting 8. I know Tulsa has not had a great season, neither has UTSA, but to be an 8-point favorite on the road is a big deal, I think, in this conference. No play for us in this one either, but we would take Tulsa plus the points. Now we get to the 2 o'clock Eastern window. A couple games there. Miami of Ohio, Central Michigan. We do like this game. Miami of Ohio is the team to beat in the MAC, I believe. That line has moved from 11.5 to 12.5. Central Michigan has won a few games. Everything's been a come-from-behind win. They struggled definitely early. Miami of Ohio's defense is legit. 47 total in this game. We love us some Miami of Ohio. So we played a -2.5 in the first quarter, 6.5 in the first half, and 11.5 for the game. I know the game's at 12.5 now. Still play the 12.5. Next game up at that same 2 Eastern window, Temple, East Carolina. This is a tough one here. East Carolina home favored by a touchdown against Temple. I think the number's right on at 7, to be really honest. Maybe you play an under 49 here. But I don't really love anything. I think the number's spot on against Temple. I think they win by a touchdown. So I guess if you wanted to play East Carolina money line, there's some value there a little bit. And it's not horrible. Only minus like 250 or something like that for that one. All right, now we get into the bigger games. 3:30 Eastern time. Illinois at Oregon. Illinois coming off a huge win against Michigan. Let's be honest, that really made their season there. Now they travel out to Oregon. What do we really expect here? Well, Oregon went to Purdue after they, typical letdown spot after that big Ohio State game. They showed up, took care of business 35-0. Now, I do not expect them to shut out Illinois. Illinois' offense is definitely better than Purdue, although you wouldn't know it by the Purdue-Illinois game. That was 50-49. But we like Oregon here quite a bit. Like the line at 21, total at 54.5. Oregon minus 6.5 first quarter, 11.5 first half, and we actually played Oregon at 21.5. I thought you were getting a steal there, and line down to 21 at some spots. One more time, Oregon minus 6.5 first quarter, 11.5 first half, 21.5 for the game. Next game up, BYU, UCF. Yes. We have the unranked home team. UCF played a great game against Iowa State on the road against ranked BYU, who's undefeated, 2.5-point line. We have not played anything in this yet. I think this line's actually going to go back down as I expect some BYU money to come in here. BYU's been getting some gifts here as of late. Not that they're a bad team. They played well above what they were scheduled to. But we would lean UCF laying the points at the moment. No play for us so far in that one, but that's a game we're probably coming back to, just to give you a heads up. Next game up, Missouri, Alabama. I don't know what Missouri is. Missouri doesn't know what Missouri is. Alabama doesn't know what they are. And I'm getting more and more confused by Bama every day. Bama minus 13.5. 53 total. Missouri has not been playing well, except against the piss poor teams like UMass or something to that effect. No play for us in this one either, but I think we'd have to lean Bama. I don't know why, but we'd have to lean Bama in that one. 12:30 East or 12:30 Phoenix, 3:30 Eastern, Iowa Northwestern. Okay, let's get something straight about this game. I understand the game's at Iowa, but how the hell is Iowa favored by anybody in the Big Ten against 2 touchdowns? Their offense has been god-awful. You lost to Michigan State. You couldn't score against Michigan State. That was ridiculous. No play for us in this one, but I promise you we're coming back, and it's going to be Northwestern. If this thing goes to 14 a hook, it is going to be Hammerfest. Total at 37.5. Northwestern has been up and down. They beat Maryland. They look good here. They look horrible there. They make you want to pull your hair out. But god-awful Iowa, 14-point favorite. No, thank you. We're out. Maryland, Minnesota, still at that 3:30 Eastern window. Maryland, who can figure that team out? Minnesota's been pretty good. Been better at home. They're a 4.5-point favorite, 4.5 total there. No play for us in this one. We would lean Minnesota in that game, though. Let's see here. James Madison at home against Southern Miss. James Madison's had 2 farts this year. This will not be one, as Southern Miss is, oh my God, are they awful? Did they just fire their whole coaching staff too? They're god-awful in this one. James Madison's the play here in this one. Let's give you what we went through. James Madison, minus 6.5 first quarter, minus 13.5 first half, and minus 24.5 for the game. So JMU, and when you get tired of that, JMU. Next game up, Oklahoma State, Baylor. Baylor at home, favored by 7. Okie State put up a hell of a fight at BYU. Game went way over. Okie State can't stop anybody. Baylor's offense, especially at home, has been pretty damn special on that one. Total in this one has moved up to 65. We love the over. We grabbed it at 64.5, but I think you're still okay at 65. I think this game's played in the 70s. Baylor, Oklahoma State, over 13.5 first quarter, over 31.5 first half, and over 64.5 for the game in that one there. Next game up, still at that 3:30 Eastern window, Western Michigan, Kent State. Kent State, one of those teams, again, really, really, really bad. And we love the Broncos from Kalamazoo and Western Michigan in this one. They're a 17.5-point favorite now. The line was 17, 59.5 total. It's Western Michigan for us all day long, as we love us. Western Michigan minus 5.5 first quarter, minus 9.5 first half, and minus 17 for the game. Texas Tech, TCU. TCU at home, 6.5-point favorite. It's been pretty easily this season. Texas Tech's been really good at home, not so much on the road. We don't have a dog in this fight, no play for us. But if we had to lean one way, it would be TCU laying the points there. Northern Illinois, Ball State. Another one of those games of why do you want to get yourself involved? Ball State, one of the probably bottom 15 teams in the country. Northern Illinois had their game of the century, beating Notre Dame earlier in the year, but really hasn't done much since. They're 12.5-point favorites on the road. Save yourself the hair pull and just don't play it. Same thing, 3:30 Eastern time as well. Bowling Green, Toledo. Toledo's had a couple of brain cramps. All of a sudden, the offense can't figure out how to score. They're a 2.5-point favorite at home against Bowling Green. No play for us in this one either. If we had to lean any direction, it would be Bowling Green plus points in your pocket, though. Rice, UConn. Well, UConn, who we loved last week, laid a turd as a 1-point favorite that turned into a 2-point dog. And then all of a sudden this week, they're a 6.5-point favorite against Rice at home. 46.5 total. We might still come back and play this, but we had to stay away for now. We would lean UConn minus a touchdown here, but no such play for us in that game yet. Still at that 3:30 Eastern window. Wake Forest at Stanford. Wake Forest played pretty decently last week. They were the team that took on UConn there and got a win. They're a 3-point home favorite and a 54 total in this game at Stanford. They're not a great team, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. But they're not that bad. Wake Forest on the road, traveling cross country. Give me Stanford plus a half in the first quarter, plus 1.5 first half, and plus 3 for the game. Next game up, Eastern Michigan, Akron. When we looked at this game, I'm still kind of confused on how Akron's only a 3-point home dog. I know Eastern Michigan has had its moments this season where they look like tards or, stupid. But we like Eastern Michigan in this one. We played them and played them pretty decently heavy here as well. Eastern Michigan minus a half in the first quarter, 1.5 first half, and 3 for the game. Next game up, Oregon State, California. We're at to the 4 o'clock Eastern window now. Cal, disappointing last week, and this number of 10 keeps popping up for them. Oregon State did cover, was played UNLV tough. They don't have a ton of offensive firepower, but I don't know if Cal does either. They showed up on game day, but they haven't showed up much since then. Cal's favored by 10. No play for us in this one. We would take Oregon State, though, plus the 10. Texas, Vanderbilt. I'll be honest with you. I am scared crapless to play a side here. Everything in my body says Texas bounces back. Vanderbilt has figured out what they need to do in order to make things happen. I'm going to give Vanderbilt all the credit in the world. They have been fantastic. And so we can't play a side here. Vandy at home getting 19. That might be enough to get this done. I don't know if they can crack a win here, but they definitely should be able to score. And Texas should be able to score. So maybe the over 53 better spot here, but on that one, we had to stay away there. New Mexico, Colorado State, 5 o'clock Eastern window. The Colorado State favors 6.5 at home here. 65.5 total. Would not be surprised if this is an over game. New Mexico, not a big fan of playing defense, but they do have an offense that can put up some points. Also, 5 o'clock Eastern window. Louisiana Monroe, South Alabama. Another game, I think it's right on the number, 7 to 8, 9 points, somewhere around there. I think, it's kind of the number on this game. So therefore, not a lot of value in it, but it should be an interesting game here between South Alabama and Louisiana Monroe. We would actually lean to the over 45.5 in that game if we had any play. Next game up, 7 o'clock Eastern window, Miami, Florida at home, Florida State. Let's be honest here. If this was not a state rivalry game, Miami might be favored by 34, but only 21 because so. Florida State, oh my God, could you be any worse? Mike Norvell's coming out apologizing. You need to do more than apologize, bro. Burn the program to the ground. What the hell happened? You can't even sniff a win. You even get a lead and you still can't figure out how to win. Love the Hurricanes. The line is starting to move, so I'd buy the hook here just to be a little safer, but at 20.5 where we got it, but at 21 you should be fine, though, just as long as this Miami defense can stop a few times the Florida State team. So Miami minus 6.5 first quarter, minus 11.5 first half, minus 20.5 for the game. Next game up, Utah-Houston. Well, Utah's seasons went down the crapper pretty quickly, right? Cam Rising being out. Zach Wilson's brother, he's no good. The defensive offensive lines, I mean, you can tell the team's, I haven't say they quit, but man, they're like, really? We got to put up with this dude? And he can't do nothing? Utah, 3.5-point favorite on the road because Houston is just that bad. Total at 37, and this is probably an under game, which most people are probably going to stay away from in that one. Next game up, Troy, Arkansas State. Does anybody care about Troy and Arkansas State? Arkansas State's offense pretty good. Troy, not so good. Troy's defense better than Arkansas State's offense here. Arkansas State, 7.5-point favorite, 50.5 total. Stay away for us in that particular one there. Next game up, Utah State, Wyoming. Utah State, they're a favorite at Wyoming. Wyoming is not as good as they've been in the last couple of seasons. Completely understand that, but Wyoming is not an easy place to play here. We did like Wyoming in this one just because of the home. If they were on the road, we'd probably go the other way. But Wyoming minus 0.5 first quarter, minus 0.5 first half, and minus. And this line's moved extremely towards Wyoming, but we take Wyoming money line first quarter, first half, and game in your home in that one there. Next game up, Penn State, Wisconsin. We'd love to play in this game. Big Ten Saturday night right game. Wisconsin at home getting 6.5, 48 total. I just don't know what Penn State can do. Wisconsin, I kind of got an idea, right? They can run the ball a little bit. They can pass it. They're probably going to turn the ball over a couple times against a better team. I kind of got a feel for what they're going to be. Penn State, what the hell is this team? Is this a team that can come out and score 30-plus points a weekend? Or is this a team that's just built on defense and let's hope we hope we win? Big game, James, always scares me as well. And one of these bigger games, like a Saturday night game like this one, especially when they're not at home, they could be overlooking this game as well, looking ahead to Ohio State, which we already know they're going to lose that game. When the hell have they beaten Ohio State? What they need to do is focus on this game, take care of business. Even if they lose to Ohio State, they got a great chance at making the 12-team playoff as teams continue to lose. So, to be really honest, we would play Wisconsin plus the 6.5 here, but no play for us in that one. Then we've got LSU, Texas A&M. We might come back to this one. I do like A&M here. I'm a little, LSU is, they're getting breaks to win games, which always makes me a little nervous on that one. But right now we would take A&M in this one here. 7:30 Eastern as well. Michigan State, Michigan. What's the total in this game? 40. Play the under. Save yourself the trouble. We've got no dog in this fight either. But just figure neither team can score. It's probably a pretty safe bet, right? Auburn, Kentucky in the next one. I don't know how Kentucky's favored against anybody. They couldn't score against Florida. Auburn's coming to town. This is another one of those games. This total is a little bit higher than I anticipated at 43 as well. I don't know if either team can score 20 points. So nothing for us in this one yet, but this is a game we're probably looking at to come back to as well. Under 43 in that one. 8 o'clock Eastern window, Kansas State. We're ready for this game, though. K-State's been fantastic, except for going to BYU. I mean, let's be honest, that was a shit game. Kansas has figured out a way to lose games at an all-time clip this year. Quarterback Mr. Daniels has been way too loose with the ball. They turn the ball over too much. K-State's really, really good at home, and now they get a Saturday night game at home to boot. We're all over Kansas State here, even though the 10-point line. Kansas State minus 3.5 first quarter, 6.5 first half, and 10 for the game in that one. Next game up, SMU Duke. I know Duke got a win against Florida State. They're probably still celebrating that shit. SMU is not Florida State, folks. SMU is a damn good team and damn good enough to win this game here. We love SMU in this one. SMU minus 3.5 first quarter, 6.5 first half, and 11.5 for the games where we got that one on SMU. Next game up, San Jose State, Fresno State. Should be a pretty good game here, I think, overall. Fresno State right now favored by 5. 55.5 total in this one. We should be seeing a little bit of scoring. It could go back and forth a little bit in this one. No play for us in this one. If we had to lean anywhere, it would be Fresno State, though, minus the 5. And 10:15 Eastern, we get into the last 3 games tonight. Cincinnati, Colorado. Colorado have been on fire. They went down to Tucson, beat the hell out of Arizona. And this line has moved from 4 to 5.5. We caught this thing earlier in the week, but I don't know how you don't love Colorado here. Cincinnati comes off a big win against Arizona State, but couldn't score in the second half and had a few short fields and didn't even get 24 points. You're going to need to score damn near 30 points in order to beat Colorado. So give us Colorado in this one. We like them quite a bit. Colorado minus 1.5 first quarter, 3.5 first half, and 4 for the game. Next game up, Washington State, San Diego State, 10:30 Eastern. Washington State's been really good. Should be able to handle San Diego State. I think they win by a couple touchdowns, which is what the line is. So we didn't not play in this game. Well, we would probably lean to the Washington State side on that one there. In Nevada and Hawaii, I don't understand at midnight Eastern why Hawaii is getting a point at home. Nevada's played pretty well, but really they're going to travel over to Hawaii and they're going to basically a pick 'em game. We'd probably take Hawaii here plus the 1. No dog in the fight for us in this one either. All right, so we just went through a ton of bets. How did we get to see all those bets? No problem whatsoever. We got them posted in multiple spots online, TikTok and YouTube channel pages, as well at the end of every episode on YouTube. Docs.google.com/spreadsheet, bunch of other stuff behind it. Click on that link. Go to Football 24-25 tab. Scroll down to College Football Week 9. You'll be able to see all the bets, what juice we got those at, how many units we wagered, and then also what book we ended up placing them at as well. And then obviously once the games are over, you're going to see the results. We have been on fire in college football, so come on in, enjoy the ride, right? It has been fantastic. Also, you like the content you're seeing here, want to see some more? No, that'd be fantastic. We'd love to have you along. All you need to do is hit follow or subscribe, depending on the social media platform you're watching this on, and we will show up in your follower subscriptions tab, or make life even easier than that. Just turn on notifications for that social media platform. You get a notification sent to your phone when we're dropping a new episode of bets. Also, tons of promo bonus bets to give away from our partners to you. We're in 49 out of 50 states. Same 2 spots online. You can find this link, YouTube and TikTok channel pages. That's bit.ly/sportsbets for free -BH. Click that link. It'll default to the state that you're in and let you know the available online casinos, sports books, or fantasy sites that we have available for you. Don't worry, those fantasy sites, folks, a lot of those, you have player props available. They're just not fantasy. So you've got opportunities to play some player props through there that you might not on some others, depending on the state that you're in and stuff. So check those out when you get some time. Also, private Discord channel available. Anybody out there want to make more money or wanting to make money, want to save money on juice, line movement, stuff like that, and want to make money. It's hard. We got a lot of experience doing this. Been doing it for damn near 30 years. We've been doing it for a minute, right? I am not some 21-year-old dude that's telling you I'm a handicapper on here. I've been doing this a long time. We know what the heck we're doing. And we make money. And if you want to talk to people that are already subscribing to the plan, feel free. They're going to tell you the same thing. They're making money. So that's the most important thing. That's what keeps you, keeps sports betting even more fun, is by making money. It sucks when you got to lose money. Now, there are losing days. Don't get me wrong. It happens. But overall, season-wide, there's guys double, triple, and quadruple their bankroll. That's what we're looking for. We want to build that up for you as well. Private Discord channel available. Subscribe through TikTok. It's either $6, $10, or $25 a month. It's cheaper than Netflix, plus it's going to pay you back. So feel free to subscribe when you got some time as well. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.